I heard a pastor say one time that he saw more discipleship happen, more disciple making happen in 1 week on a mission trip than in years and years in sitting in a discipleship class. And I think it's true of missions, and I think it's true of a mission trip. I think it's also true of service in general. Service is both the end of what we're trying to do in discipleship, and it is also the means of what we try to do in discipleship. In other words, people grow in discipleship as they serve. And one of the things that you're trying to do, teacher, is to get your people to serve the Lord, because this is the end of discipleship, and also it is a process by which we make disciples. We make disciples by getting them involved in the work. And one of the things we're looking at as we do that is to get people involved in the work more and more in the area of their gifting. And that's what we're going to look at today. And I'd like to start with a story. You might want to end with a story. And one of my challenges, I think you might sense, is that I struggle with time. I want to have about 30 minutes with you every week. And I got about 15. And so I want to put the important stuff first. And quite honestly, you might put this at the end. The full text of what I'm about to read comes in in the PowerPoint, in the notes of the PowerPoint. In the slide where I've got a picture of a duck in the notes there, you might take a look at this. But this is from Bruce Bugsby's book, What You Do Best in the Body of Christ. It wasn't too long after creation that the animals got together to form a school. They wanted the best school possible, one that offered their students a well-rounded curriculum. That's what everybody wants to be well-rounded. And both secular research and the Bible confirm that being well-rounded is not necessarily the best goal. They wanted their students to be well-rounded in swimming, in running, in climbing, in flying. In order to graduate, all the animals had to take all the courses. The duck was excellent at swimming. In fact, he was better than his instructor. He was only making passing grades at climbing and was getting a very poor grade in running. The duck was so slow in running that he had to stay after school every day to practice. Even with that, there was little improvement. His webbed feet got badly worn from the running, and with such worn feet, he was then only able to get an average grade in swimming. Average was quite acceptable to everyone else, so no one worried much about it except, of course, the duck. The rabbit was at the top of her class in running, but after a while she did a twitch in her leg from all the time she spent in the water trying to improve her swimming. The squirrel was a peak performer in climbing, but was constantly frustrated in flying class. His body became so bruised from all the hard landings that he did not do well in climbing and ended up being pretty poor in running. The eagle was a continual problem student. She was severely disciplined for being a nonconformist. For example, in climbing class, she would always beat everyone to the top of the tree, but insisted on getting there her own way. Each of the animals had a particular area of expertise. When they did what they were designed to do, they excelled. When they tried to operate outside their area of expertise, they were not nearly as effective. Can ducks run? Sure they can. Is that what they do best? Definitely not. And this is what we oftentimes get people to do. We want them to be well-rounded in everything. And the Bible teaches that we ought to lean into our spiritual gift. All right, so that's a big idea we're going to get after. We're in a series on how to know God's will. And do you remember our first observation? One of the things that you want to try to do as you teach is you want to make teaching unforgettable.